What's a happening, nerds? This is John, nerding out with cards. And if you notice, I'm going to go straight right into showing some cards. Now that I'm back in Seattle, finally took the time out to, kind of showcase a bunch of the cards I got in. But first, I want to show the best pickups. And if you remember a while back when I was still in California, I got to be one of the, do a guest appearance on the Four Collectors channel for the 5 cards everybody should own episode. Well, one of the people I got to be on that episode with was Paul over at Fast Breaks and Breakfast. And he sent me a care package, which is, for me, it's a first. Luckily, I got it in. I'm having a little bit of trouble with the mailroom here. But anyway, I'm not going to belabor on that. But, he sent a nice note, and that's awesome. But, so he sent me some cards, and they're freaking sweet, So I'm going to kind of go in like a chronological order here. But it's really sweet. Got a 68 Orlando Cepeda. I mean, that is amazing. And what's really cool is on the back of this card, it's got the 1967 stats, when the Cardinals won the World Series. But, Cha-Cha here was the National League MVP. Absolutely amazing. That's an awesome card. The next card that Paul had sent was this 1971 Steve Carlton. And we all know the 71 set is really awesome. Look at the back of this. The design of it's awesome. But as we all know, the 1971 was the last season that Steve Carlton was a member of the Cardinals. Now this one, look at this. 1973 Bob Gibson. Unbelievable. Well on his way to becoming the second pitcher in Major League Baseball history to get 3,000 strikeouts. Not to be outdone, this 1974 Lou Brock. He was on his way to becoming the all-time stolen bases leader. Unfortunately, on the back of this card, you see they don't even put stolen bases as a statistic on the back of the card, but it does talk about it. 50 or more stolen bases for the past 9 seasons sets a record. Lou Brock, real favorite in St. Louis. And then the last card, I didn't see much of these, but check this out. Yadier Molina. And it's a 2020 commemorative type card. And you've seen me showcase some of these for Yadi that I just think are super sweet, fun cards. But it's a commemorative Topps coin card, which the coin is obviously in the card. But it kind of reminds me of those Topps coins that they did back in the 60s, and then they kind of brought them back for a minute in the 80s. Really cool card. So anyway, Paul, thank you very much. And I'm gonna show his channel banner over here. Hopefully y'all subscribe to him. There for a while, he was doing videos with his daughter, opening packs and things like that. It's been about a month or so since he posted a video. And, I understand how life gets in the way. But, I remember from that episode, he had an amazing looking card room, and so I just kind of wanted to, show some of these cards here that he had sent me. Talk about his channel. I know the ones I got to watch, I really enjoyed them. Hopefully, he starts up making videos again here when he gets a chance. But going back to that episode where, the 5 cards everybody should own, and one of the cards he showed, I hope he has another copy of this, because if everybody should own it, then he definitely should own it. this Stan the Man Musial. Check that out. I had to take it out of the frame that he had sent it in, so that way I can show you the back. And I've seen this on the YouTube before, and I apologize to forget the channel that showed it. But this actually comes attached to like a piece that, and I think you can put it in a binder. But detached from that is you get this round disc. And you see, it talks about base sealing on the back. Really cool. And I don't know if Paul knows this or not, but this is the first non-flagship playing days card I have of Stan the Man. So that's really awesome. Thank you very much, Paul. And like I said, y'all go over there and check out his videos. It's really kind of cool, the stuff he got to make with his daughter. Whether or not they do that anymore, we'll see. Hopefully they do. But the time they got to do that was really awesome. So, like I said, that's absolutely amazing. I can't thank you enough, Paul. And like I said, y'all go check out his channel. Like I said, that's the biggest pickups. I definitely want to get those out of the way first, because I was, since I opened that box, I was really excited to be able to come on here and show those cards. A few more cards I got in the mail, and I'll go with, let's go with older to newer. All right. So one of the things, I didn't bring out the other cards, but for Red Schoendienst, I don't know, I just gotta kind of bug up my butt to get his last playing days card, because I've talked about it on my channel before, but really learning more and focusing on his playing days. And so here it is, his 1962 Topps, because he did not have a card in 1963. And I'll show you the back. And one of the things I didn't know, and I've heard other channels talk about this when they do their set builds, their Hall of Fame runs, is these high numbers. And if you'll notice, card number 575, so Red's last card was one of those infamous high numbers. Made it a little bit, surprisingly more difficult to get, but it talks about his return to the Cardinals, his bout with tuberculosis that he came back from. But I just thought it was an awesome card. I got, Stan's rookie card, last card, obviously Ozzie, Yadier, and I thought it'd be really cool to get Reds. So I definitely wanted to add that to the collection. It's not really cooperating, but let's go. Let's grab something here to put behind it. There we go. Show off Red's last card. Now this one, shout out to Stuke. We all know him because he educates us all on the exhibit cards. And this is actually my second Red Schoendienst exhibit card. I showed one of the other ones. It shows him fielding, and it's got a like signature on going across it that's in white lettering. And this is a batting pose exhibit card. So now I have two, and I know of three. The other one is it's the same image as the fielding one, just the name is in a darker color. So I definitely want to get that to complete the exhibit run. At least that's he has three that I know of. I'm waiting for Stuke to get around to Red Schoendienst on his series. Last I saw he was on the Robinson, so getting kind of close. But see, somebody wrote the 41 on the back of this, which helped me get this super cheap, which is awesome. But got the Reds last playing days card and an exhibit card. Freaking sweet. And then next player I got, and I'll save the quote unquote best one for last, but I got Ken Boyer, 1961 Post cereal. And you know I was wanting to get Ken's, like food issue cards. This is blank back. And I had gotten that 63 Jello card in, showed on a previous video, but now I got the 61 Post. Boom. 1964 Topps Giant. And these are pretty popular. I see a lot of people showing these off, building this set and whatnot here on the YouTube. Awesome. About the back, it talks about him playing in an all-star game, and I dig that. Well, one of the things I really liked about it was the fact that it's a 1964 card, which is, obviously his MVP season. It's when he became a World Series champion. But those are two of the Boyers I got in. Well, what's really awesome here, and I'm going to spend just about a minute on this. 1964 Bazooka. It's funny about these bazookas is it wasn't until I was watching Theo over at Clemente Collector, he's building his Clemente collection, and that's when bazookas really entered my mind. Just because my collecting hadn't taken me there, and well, Ken Boyer has taken me there. And again, 1964 MVP season, World Series championship season. So if I'm gonna have one bazooka, this is the one I want. I don't know if it's the most valuable. I don't know if it's the hardest one to get, anything like that, but it's definitively the year that I really, really wanted from this. And normally I don't really like talking about the conditions of the cards, but this is obviously in a PSA slab. What is the grade? Well, it doesn't matter what the grade is, except it does for kind of a topic of discussion kind of thing, but it received a number grade. And I always thought it was kind of weird because I've heard other people talk, but you see like the dotted lines, it's not even. You see here on the top, the dotted lines don't exist. And so I think it's kind of funny, you look at the cert number, it's a newer one. We talk about inconsistencies of grading. You would expect this to have been an authentic. And I think maybe the quote unquote eye appeal helped me get this for far cheaper than what I had anticipated. But yeah, it's my first Ken Boyer Bazooka card. Absolutely love it. Next, Ozzie Smith. Let's go. This card right here, 1989, Main Street Baseball. Let me see, it's a toy company. Really kind of odd front to it because it doesn't have a picture of him or anything like that. But you look on the back of here, I don't know anything about this card. I didn't even know it existed. I just kind of stumbled upon it. But it's a different card, so got it, and it was super cheap, which is awesome. And then this card, and so this one, 1996 Leaf Silver Proof. And I've been very leery of trying to purchase these online because you'll get listings that'll say it's a proof, but it's hard to tell because depending on how they take the picture, like if you take a picture like this, it looks like the base card. But if you take it like this, you see that foiling, that shine there along the left and bottom borders. That's kind of how you know that this is the proof. The bronze one is a lot easier to tell, and the gold one, but that's way scarce, is easier to tell. But these silver ones are tough because see where it says shortstop and then that line going down and the logo and the line going across are silver on the base card as well. So it's been really tough trying to find this, but luckily I did, and that brings me up to 881 Ozzie Smith cards. Absolutely awesome. Then Yadier Molina. These ones are awesome because, you know, for his Topps Gold run. So I got the 2010, and the image on this one is great. You know, he's, you know, catcher doing catcher things. You see that patch on the sleeve from the All-Star, you know, because Cardinals hosted the All-Star game in 2009, in which Yadi was also an All-Star. You know, this is right around the time when, you know, he started to really improve as a hitter. Absolutely love it. But got that one. And this one's a super fun one for me. So, you know, I'm including, you know, Yadier Molina and like Yadier Molina, like adjacent team cards, whatever that he's prominently featured on. There's Yadi right there. This is from the 2012 set where the Cardinals clinched the pennant against the Brewers. Sorry, you know, Bucks in 6. Epic moment for the Cardinals, obviously. You know, good luck to the Brewers this postseason, but this is absolutely awesome card. And then a card that I had mentioned previous video, but here's a teammate card. This is technically a Trevor Rosenthal card, but you got Yadi right there. And so I had to pick this up just because why not? And it was literally a dollar. But and then the last Yadi that I got right here, 2017. Awesome card. You know, they say, you know, by this point in time, Yadi had kind of established himself as a good hitter, in my opinion. You may differ from your opinion, but love it. So, got 4 more Topps Gold Yadi cards, which brings me up to 24 out of the 40 cards. And then this last card, you know, it's you might kind of laugh at this, but you know, with Jerry's Rockin' World, you know, he had been doing the videos like the, you know, the end of the week or weekly kind of videos where he's, you know, highlighting like records or bands. You know, so far my favorite of that has been when, you know, he highlighted a Van Halen album that had Sammy Hagar as the frontman, because that's my personal favorite Van Halen. But it kind of had me thinking, like, I wonder if there's cards of my favorite band. And it turns out there is. I didn't know this when it came out because the card was a part of a set, or set-ish, whatever you want to call it. But it was they were in a deluxe package of a CD from a live album. And I did not buy it at that time. But anyway, my all-time favorite band, judge me if you want, is Korn. And I've been listening to them, since 1996 or so. But they, back at their height, which is when this card was made, it's kind of funny that this is at a PSA slab. Like, who would send this in? I can't believe that this card has really any value. But anyway, 2000, that's when they were really at their height. It was from the Family Values Tour CD that was released. Like I said, it was a deluxe issue. That whatever, but and then like all the artists that were on that tour that have songs featured on the CD have cards as well, but I don't want them. I just want my favorite band. So I thought it was kind of funny to pick up a card of my favorite band. You know, shout out to Jerry's Rockin' World, but kind of a silly card to get, but you know how it is. Like I'm a player collector. Yeah, I collect my favorite players, and I just thought it'd be kind of neat to get a card of Korn. Like I said, judge me if you want, but they're my favorite band. It is what it is. So anyway, I hope you like all these cards. You know, the Yadi cards. Definitively, the cards from Paul, absolutely amazing. Thank you again, Paul. You know, they got The Schoendienst cards, absolutely love these. Really kind of feeling out how, like, what my Schoendienst collection is going to be in the end. And then obviously the Ken Boyer cards, absolutely love them. And then, you know, holy smokes, I was able to get this hard to find, at least hard to find for me, Ozzie Smith card. I hope you like all these pickups, and you all nerd your own way, even if you pick up non-sports cards. Have a good one.